Iniquitous, Trapped in the Room, a photo series by Chantal Yazzie Martin. This is a art series that was done in collaboration with the Las Cruces Museum. The term iniquitous means unfair or morally wrong, and the title being trapped in the room represents being a person out of the closet, but now is being trapped in the room after they came out to their family with the sexual orientation. It is a photo series printed on canvas with red thread to illustrate the barriers and exclusion experienced by a person I know who came out to her family. The series follows themes surrounding the highest values of this person, and it all changed when she came out. There were discrimination, passive aggressive comments, and literal exclusion from different traditions within indigenous culture, modern church, and even family roles. The thread represents the changes experienced in identity, self-love, and being pulled in different directions. However, they were not part of her authentic self. As you can see, there are different textures within the canvas prints, and they're in every part of the access points, whether it be a door, a window, any sort of opening is now being blocked through the red thread, but also in her real experience of life. She's not able to participate in traditional practices, not able to be accepted by the church that she grew up in, essentially. There's a comment on marriage as well. What will happen with that? How did the roles change because she came out? What does that mean for children and moving on, family values and generational teachings? To this person, it doesn't mean it stops. However, the family and surrounding relatives and community have defined that piece for her. And so as you can see throughout the series, it moves through the photos, and in detail you can see the texture. You can see there is home life, which here is demonstrated by any sort of opening being closed off, and the home essentially being pulled in different directions. So as this person experienced the reactions from her family with coming out, it definitely changed the dynamic, but mostly for her experience. And so as you can see, there are different prints here to illustrate the different facets of her life. And I am playing the character in this series. This is not my story. This is someone that I have come to know and love, wanted to hear her story, and illustrated it through the photo series that I've chosen, as well as the intentional embroidery and thread work. So there are many details associated with this, and there was an intent to be very, very neat, very intentional with the lines and the way the red thread is holding her back, essentially. And so there are many different areas where she's being pulled. And all of it is not fair. All of it is wouldn't say self-inflicted. It was put on her, forced on her with the bad association. This person knew that it was going to be difficult, but not this difficult where she would be actively excluded from many of these important parts of her life. And as you can see, there are so many details within the series. And in this exhibit, there is an activity about closing your hand or using the star that would be there if we were in person, about what your star would look like if you were to come out, what parts of the important parts of your life would change, and what can you do to make people feel who may be in the closet to be better supported. And so this activity targeted family, military, work, religion. As you can see, it represents the parts of you. And imagine if you were coming out, what would be impacted? Your family, your friends, your religion, military status, work, profession, or college experience, hospital, social work, even therapy. And how would that be? Coming out is such a tedious process, but also can be freeing for people. We hear a lot about coming out of the closet, some great stories about acceptance, but then there's that middle piece where this person, certain coming out stories happen in this way. They're out of the closet, but then they're trapped in the room without being able to be their authentic self, and just having to kind of accommodate whoever comes to that door. They have to change their identity, the way they speak, the way they act, the way they are. And that is iniquitous, very unfair, morally wrong. We should be able to be an authentic person living our authentic life and not be excluded from these very important values that we are built upon, that we grew up on. And just being able to reflect on this one person's story with regard to the impact. Just think of the ways that you can support someone who is in the closet or coming out, transitioning, just how to make that, have that open door, allow that person to step out, to be their authentic self, even if it's just for a little bit, but you are that one pocket of their community, of their part of life that they can be themselves as they continue to work through these different types of discrimination or exclusion within their own families, within their own communities, within their own cultural or ethnic group. So that is what the series of Iniquitous Trapped in the Room is about. I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and maybe someday we can open up just everything in general to see and experience these things in person. Thank you very much for watching.